little Walter Lantz would sketch whatever was happening outside the living room window. As a teenager, his talent would develop at the Art Student League in Manhattan.
I was in this art class, and the first evening, here comes a nude woman, and I had to draw. I darn near died. So the first nude woman that I had to draw sketches of. That's how I learned how to draw in an art class with working from nudes.
In 1917, Walter Lantz had a comic strip in the New York Globe. A few years later, producer J.R. Bray asked him to write and direct animated cartoons.
Well, there it is, Dinky Doodle's lunch. Ah, wonderful. A customer at last.
The Dinky Doodle characters were funny enough, but J.R. Bray thought audiences would flip if they interacted with a real person. So...
And I said, who's going to be the actor? He said, you are. I said, gosh, Mr. Bray, I couldn't act my way out of a paper bag, let alone be an actor. So anyway, he said, well, you'll manage.
He managed just fine. By age 22, Walter Lantz had produced scores of cartoons and become a reluctant celebrity in the process. In 1927, Lantz came to Hollywood, landing a quick animation job at Max Sennett Studios. A little too quick, according to the lifelong friend he'd meet there, Frank Capra. Lantz recalls Capra warned him that Mr. Sennett would not appreciate his efficiency.
And Capra and the guy said, well, gee, Walter, don't show it to me. If he knows you did that in a couple of weeks, he won't think it's any good. Hold it for a while. So I kept it for 3.5 weeks, and I said, Mr. Sennett, I'm ready to show you the shot. He said, you got it so soon? Yeah. So we're in the projection room, and he looked at this thing, and he had a habit. If he kept chewing, he said back, and he liked something, he started spitting in the spit tube, and he didn't like it. So he kept chewing, so I knew he liked it.
Lantz learned a lot from the comedy shorts produced by Sennett. Later, he'd work at Hal Roach Studios and watch those masters of physical humor, Laurel and Hardy.
The year was 1928. In Hollywood, just 12 months, and Walter Lantz could say he'd worked for Max Sennett and Hal Roach. Now he was about to sign his first long-term contract to produce animated shorts. The studio, Universal. The man who hired him, Universal's legendary founder, Carl Laemmle.
I used to call him Uncle Carl all the time, and he treated me like it was a son of his, you know? And he'd take me to all these cocktail parties and all these poker parties, and all I do is sit there and watch them play no-limit poker, and I didn't know a darn thing about poker.
By the way, Uncle Carl's Thursday poker group included L.B. Mayer, Adolph Zukor, and Sam Goldwyn. At Universal, Walter Lantz led a staff of 100, all dedicated to producing 2 6-minute cartoons a month. If the character of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit looks a lot like someone named Mickey, it's because he was created by young Walt Disney, who worked at the studio before Lantz.
Disney left Universal because he had come up with a character called a mouse, and they said mice will never go. So he left. So you know what happened to the mouse? He could have bought out Universal.
Lantz went on to create his own characters. Andy Panda was his biggest success, until he married this woman, actress Grace Stafford. It was at their honeymoon cabin hideaway that a woodpecker threatened their conjugal bliss.
I said, well, I got to get rid of that woodpecker, Grace. She said, why get rid of him? You've had Andy Panda, you've had Oswald Rabbit, you've had all kinds of animals. Why not a woodpecker? I said, you may have an idea.
In the Andy Panda short Knock Knock, Woody Woodpecker makes his screen debut. Walter remembers one studio executive who told him this frantic bird would never fly.
They called me up and said, Walter, you're out of your cotton picking head with this cartoon. He's crazy, he's wild, never go. Well, he saved Universal.
Watching Woody in action, it's clear his creator never forgot the physical humor he learned from the silent shorts of Max Sennett and Hal Roach.
So I applied that same idea in my cartoon. I had a lot of, just full of gags. I didn't depend on dialogue at all.
Guess who?
When he did sound off, the voice was unmistakable. Mel Blanc was the first Woody, but when Bugs Bunny needed him full-time, Walter Lantz Productions solicited samples of new Woodies.
So they played the record for me, and I said, I like that number 7. It's got a lot of quality, nice ring to it, and the laugh is more musical than Mel's. I like the laugh. It's got a nice musical tone to it. So they said, you know who that is? I said, no, that's your wife, Gracie.
So for nearly a half-century, Grace Stafford kept Woody and Walter laughing. It didn't matter that by 1972, production costs forced Woody out of the movie theaters. He was already an international television star, a star who was among the first to come out with his own line of merchandise. 20 years after formally retiring, Walter Lantz still goes to his office 3 days a week, mostly to make sure that Universal is taking care of Woody, and most important, Woody's fans.
All the mail you receive from kids, you write letters back, don't you, if they write you?
Yeah. I read every letter I get, but I'm getting so much now that what I do, I don't have time to make a drawing for every kid now. I had a print made of Woody, and then I sign everyone.
After 50 years of providing laughter to Woody, Woody's fans, and especially her husband, Grace Stafford recently died at the age of 88. Feeling more grateful than sad, 92-year-old Walter Lantz stays busy even at home in Beverly Hills. He calls these whimsical paintings of Woody happy art. This modest man who helped to invent an art form looks at his career a little differently.
No, I didn't feel I was inventing anything. It was just a job, and I did it.
For Classic Hollywood, I'm Peter Jones.